Well, howdy, y'all. Welcome to the Ruthless Ideas podcast. It's kind of a revamp. I did try to make two podcasts for Ruthless Ideas a little earlier. Not good at all. This time, we're going straight voice. No video. We don't need video. So, this week was the launch of Ruthless Ideas. Little background, Ruthless Ideas is my quote-unquote business of inventions that I make. Whether they're new or whether they're revamped products. I draw them out, I 3D model them in SolidWorks, and then I render them and then explain why the heck I did it. So this week, I got two different ideas. We have the flower presenter and then the toilet paper holder. So first off, the flower presenter. So I was gonna talk about like the comments and stuff that I got on these videos, thinking it was gonna maybe blow up. It did the opposite. It's okay. I was fully prepared for it. I understood. I know I have a lot of time and effort I need to put into this. It just sucked because I got 4 views. So it's going to be a little shorter of a podcast this week because ain't nobody commented on it. But hey, that's okay. So I'll explain a little bit of how it came to be. So I was walking. Typical, right? Anytime you want to go somewhere, you probably walk. So I was walking by the road and saw a flower and I was like, man, I can give that to my girlfriend. And then I was like, well, I don't want to give her just one flower. Like it was a side of the road flower. It's not even like a pretty flower that you'd get from a bushel or wherever flowers are. Maybe, I don't even know where flower bed, maybe, if they're tired. But so I was like, all right, road flower. How could I make it better? And I was like, well, flower presenter. Then it shows that little effort of, hey, I got you a flower. But it's a little more better, I guess. I don't know how you want to say that. Better, more romantic. There's more emotion behind it. And when more emotion's shown, I feel like it means more, typically. So I thought, well, that could be the first product of Ruthless Ideas. So that's where it started. And I don't know if you've watched the video or not. If you haven't, this is going to make no sense to you. If you have, all 4 of you, then you'll know I designed it, first off, as a circle. So this is really going to be a struggle for the people who ain't seen this, but I got you. Just close your eyes and just picture this. So you have a circle about, we'd say the size of the back of your hand. And you're looking at your back of your hand and you're like, that's a fairly big circle. And then think, all right, let's put handles on the side of that have to go up and down. And I don't know if you're looking at it like me, that's kind of hard. So I changed it. The sucky part though, it took me probably 2 hours to design that because I was still trying to make the circle work. This part, when I was drawing it out, that was not a thought that I thought. Yeah, the thoughts were not thinking, so it did not work. That's the one problem I have, is I get an idea and I just go with it. I don't think about the other stuff. And so I need to like kind of draw it out more. So that was like the one flaw of this, like kind of the first project was like, the drawing didn't work. I spent all the time, because the thing is, if you draw it out right, it should be perfect to get it the next time, and you should have no problem. The thing was, I didn't do that, so I'm modeling it all, and I did it all out, and then figured it out that doesn't work. So I scrapped that, and then went to a square, which is how the final product ended. So it's a square that allows you to hold the handles easily, but also they can flip up and down, which helps the not the agility, the what is that word? The functionality of the product. So to make the functionality better, the arms have to go up and down so you can wrap the product presenter around it, because in the center of the squares is a little circle that cuts the flower at the bottom. So you don't have to pick it. You put the flower presenter around the base of the flower, pinch it together, and then there's a little pin you put in so that it doesn't like flop out. And there you go. That's like the finished product. And then you flip the arms down, and that's how you present it. So the whole point is to make it like more presentable, and it's just, I don't know, I like the look of, oh hey, you didn't just give me this dandelion, it's got a little base to it. And another thought I had with it is you could make it a tad smaller and have the handles where it goes inside of like a wine glass, or not a wine glass, a wine bottle, because it's kind of vase like, where you could probably stick it in there, and now you have this vase for this plant with a little flower presenter in there. Kind of looks cool. So that's another way it could go. And I mean, I'm all up for debate, or if you want to go do that and show me how it works, that'd be cool too. But I also might go back and redo that. We shall see. But that was the other kind of way I thought it could go. It was more just like a versatility of the product, and if you could actually make it better, where it's kind of like a kid's, not a kid's toy, but something a kid's like, Mom, look. And I don't know, I just think that would be cool. So finishing with the flower presenter. First product I made, I'm not mad about it. I think it's really cool. Obviously, everything can be improved on. So there's a lot of things I could do better. But for just a base product, possibly. Number 2, the paper towel holder. This one isn't as much of an invention, yet it still is. It just solves the problem of holding paper towels in a different way. So the reason I came up with this idea was we normally keep paper towels in our garage, and anytime the garage doors open, they fly all over. And then you can't keep it out there, but if you're working outside and you need paper towel, you have to go inside. And so it's that hindrance of efficiency is the kind of like setback of having the paper towel on inside your house instead of outside. So I took this and said, all right, it's windy. You got to make sure this thing doesn't fall out and fly away. So you got to make it kind of tight. So I went for an addition to, it doesn't specifically hold the paper towel up, it holds the paper towel to itself. So again, if you haven't watched the videos, go watch it, because I'm going to try and explain it. It's going to be interesting. So it looks like a tuning fork with a mouth guard at the bottom, with a little Tic Tac holder, possibly Pez dispenser looking thing with rubber band. I know, sounds insane. So, but you go look at it, it'll actually kind of make a lot of sense, and you'll understand, wow, that kind of looks cool. So, but it is what it is. The main problem with this that I had was kind of making it simple. So, luckily, I was able to adjust it where if you pinch, so you have there's like two parts. You have the main holder that goes inside where the cardboard is, and then there's a piece that's attached with a rubber band that moves up and down that holds the paper towel. And there's two, so it's one on each side. And so with the centerpiece and the top of the paper towel holder, you can pinch that, and theoretically, the mouthguard thing, the mouthguard shape that goes inside the cardboard, concaves itself and goes in on itself, where it slides into the cardboard simply and quick. And with one fail swoop, or not fail, you don't fail, just one swoop goes in perfect. And so the goal is you have it hooked up, or the paper towel on the wall, preferably horizontal. And with both hands, you have one in each. And you pinch your pointer finger and or middle finger and thumb, and then you can put it on both sides, and it's done. Obviously, kind of hard to model that out, but that's where my head was going. So the goal was to get it where it's super quick, super easy, and it allows where you can put it on the paper towel anytime you want, whether it's inside or outside. It's just a more of an efficiency thing of, oh, hey, I kind of need this on there. Let's put it on there so it doesn't blow away. Or you could have possibly like an attachment where you attach something to it and hang it up by the paper towel holders. That is a possibility, like maybe with a rope, or don't exactly know how that would work. Would be a little more difficult if the paper towel was fuller than if it wasn't. But it's here or there, kind of test that out. I mean, obviously you can't test it out, but could possibly be something cool. And I mean, if it's simple and you could do it in a second or two, that would be extremely efficient and save a lot of time, and then paper towel went flying everywhere. So that one got 17 views. But hey, that's like 4 times better than the first video, which is awesome. Because the thing is, I understand no views. I understand no one watches that. Perfectly fine. But I plan on having about 104 videos throughout the year. That should hopefully grow a little bit. But honestly, I'm here just to do what I love. I love inventing. I love doing things differently. And I love the feeling of having something that's my own. Like this podcast, so cool. Like I love that I can just do this. And then it's just me talking, which I hope y'all enjoy. So this is the part where I would do the comments and address all the comments of like, why the heck did you do this? This is stupid. No one's ever going to use this. Probably. I can't do that. So I'll make up some comments. Wow, this is the coolest product I've ever seen. How did you even come up with this? Well, if you go to my podcast, just kidding. I'm not going to self-promote like that. Yes, I will. Otherwise, it was just an idea. Ideas come, and I make them. That's all I do. So, we're going to do a little section where I talk about what I like, other than inventing. Yes, inventing's cool. I also like AI. I know what you're thinking. Isn't that what everyone's talking about? Yeah, kind of dumb. Don't worry about it. I just want to tell you, artificial intelligence helps with things if you use it right. Yes, there's a lot of things. It's a giant ocean of things that are out there. And you're probably like, my first question I had was like, yeah, I love AI and everything like that, and I was trying to use it. But then I thought, do I actually know what AI is? And I never really understood what AI was. And so I'll give you like a couple things that are AI. Well, I guess I don't want to get into definitions. I'm not smart enough for that. But some AIs that are out there are ChatGPT. That's literally what everyone talks about. But ChatGPT is an artificial intelligence. It has this database of all this information, which is a large language model, LLM, which is cool. And it just has a bunch of data in there that are all quantified by like bits. And so when you ask it a question, it looks for those bits in this large language model to answer your questions, and then it spits that back out. And so the reason why you get different answers every time is of how what you put into the question, which is where like prompt engineering comes into play, where it's like, I need this specific answer, so I need to curate the question to get that. The one thing I heard that helped me a lot is treat it like a very expensive assistant. Where if you want this human person to do something for you, you give it explicit details and instructions of what to do. You tell it what not to do and what to do. So it's just like you're talking to a person. It's just this thing is a little better. So that's my little rant about AI because I like it. And I like sharing what I like. So that's about it for this week. I'm super happy. Loving life. I feel great. So thank you for listening. I hope you just have a wonderful day. Let me know if you got any comments, concerns, questions, anything. Inventions, ideas. Just throw them at me. I don't know. But thank you all for listening, and I hope you just have a wonderful day. Goodbye.